Okay, for what it was, I need to make this clear that what I'm about to say, this has no respect for your feelings or your emotion. Now, I want us to understand that fact is not for or against you. It's just a simple fact. And at this point, it will do you a whole lot of good to understand that the fact is nothing but the fact. It's as simple as that. You see, a whole lot is going on right now to the point that majority of us, we have normalized it. If not, there's some things that we practice that still make me believe that maybe if I have to put age, someone that is old enough to be a father to someone, and we will still see you partaking in some things that should be beneath you. And you are doing it because probably you are doing it because you are loyal to your party or because you get paid to do it. And when we look at your age, it doesn't match. We will look like even teenagers should not be engaging in a situation like this. Looking at the Ekiti election, it will paint you a picture of what you should expect in 2027 election. That should tell you a whole lot. You know, for someone like me, I would believe the best way is that we should go through electoral process. But with this current administration and APC, I don't think that is possible. I don't think it is possible because there's no way as a leader that you will tell me that you are pro-democracy, but everything about your government looks like autocracy, looks like a dictatorship. It doesn't make sense. INEC, you see, at this point in time, you can't convince me that INEC is not a subsidiary of APC. You cannot convince me that. And this is my personal opinion. One thing I want us to understand as in Nigeria is that the government cannot be bigger than its people. It can't work. You don't make yourself a president. You don't make yourself a senator. You don't make yourself a governor. At the same time, we need to come to this understanding that electoral officials are not our God. The people who ask them to go and represent them should supersede their decision. But in the case of Nigeria, the case is reversed. The people are the ones serving their elected official. I don't see why someone from Edo State, as a chairman and APC, according to what I saw on the news, that could have been a cogent reason to nullify Ekiti election. If only INEC, they are functioning and their service is to Nigeria, that election should have been nullified. There's a whole lot of electoral malpractice that took place, but because it's in the favor of APC, nothing happened. And that's why I come to the conclusion that APC, INEC, they are subordinate. Okay? You can't win free and fair election with APC if INEC is conducting the election. Forget it. It's not going to happen. Now, should we now fold our arms and be looking? People that will represent us, the only way we can choose them. If that power is taken away from us, if INEC has already decided who is going to win the election, if they will not honor their oath to Nigeria, what's the point of budgeting humongous money if the people's will not hold? What's the point of conducting an election if our thumbprint is not going to matter? I saw a video of a lady also that was boasting of 15,000 naira to thumbprint for APC. Some people argue the video is not recent. I don't really care if that video is recent or not. A lady like that should have been picked up, questioned, and show or present to them whoever gave her that money to thumbprint. That's electoral malpractice. Because I believe in Nigeria of today, buying or selling votes is illegal. And if a lady will be bold enough to come out that I sell my vote, for what I know and for what I can see, there's no country that develops without sacrifice. And if you will not sacrifice to do the right thing, how do you expect the government to do the right thing? I'm just saying that in 2026, looking at everything that is going on, even if you're going to vote APC, you should do it with clean conscience. If APC happens to be the party you choose to vote for, there's nothing wrong in that. Absolutely nothing wrong if APC is your choice. But what is wrong is you voting any party because you are being manipulated to do so, either by taking cash or foodstuff. If your voting is not based on your conviction about that candidate or the party in particular, then you are doing yourself a disservice. Your voting should not come with condition. Your voting should be a conviction that you have about that person. So, that lady and the video that are circulating where you see INEC official doing multiple thumb printing, they don't see their life beyond right now. All they can see is what they are getting out of it right now. But they do not see the damage that they are doing. If you're INEC official, the question I'm asking you right now is that since you have been manipulating the election, since you have been conniving with one party or the other to manipulate, to change the real result of an election, how far have you gone in life? You see, in this life, either you are doing good or you are doing evil, your reward is waiting for you. It may not be in any way that you even think that this thing that is happening to me is as a result of the evil that I have done in the past. Like it or not, whatever you sow is what you will reap. How low can we go if we, the citizens, cannot be upright to do the right thing? Because selling your vote, collecting money, foodstuff before voting should be a crime. But if you have to look at it on the other side, why would you want to blame someone who just thumbprint for 15,000, whereby the FCT minister is gifting judges? Under normal circumstances, that shouldn't have happened. Or why don't you allocate money to that ministry? Why must it be that the minister have to be the one, build the house, and now give it to them? Like it or not, there is a conflict. An average Nigerian of today will understand that it's all about 2027. And that's why you will see someone that stole election will tell you to go to court. If you go to court, you're telling me a judge living in a building fully furnished, gifted to them by the federal government or the current administration, you're telling me they will have the moral boldness to deliver a judgment against such government. Make it make sense. It's a bribe. That is Nigeria of today. So, I'm not here to discourage you not to vote. I will still encourage Nigerians to go out, get to PVC, and be ready to vote. But voting alone, like I said, is not enough. You have to guard it. You have to be sure that your vote counts. And at this point in time, if we truly want a Nigerian that works for everybody, if your neighbor, if your brother, if your father, if your mother is part of those people who are collecting money from politicians, you need to frown upon them. Trust me, because your inability to secure a good job, your inability to live a life that is comfortable is due to the fact that your father is collecting money from politicians. Your mother is doing on your mandate which I stand. It's the fact that you have a sister or brother who belong to all these political talks. Nothing will change until we decide to make that change. If we do not take steps in making sure that the country we want is what the politicians are delivering to us, nothing will change. This administration will tell you they inherit a country that is almost, that is about to collapse. Do you know how much they award to go and build house for the VP villa? They inherit bad economy. Yet, do you know how much they award to buy new vehicle for your politicians? They inherit a bad economy, a country that is on the verge of collapse. Yet, you will see our senator that you get your envelope, your Christmas bonus. Nigeria is on the verge of collapse. Yet, we had allegation about some governors to took away the money that is meant to train their children in school with all the alleged allegation. That same person is coming out to be a senator. Some governors have 8 years, just 8 years, and they are collecting retirement. They are getting huge chunk of Nigerian money as a retirement for serving for 8 years. Some of them are now in the Senate. Do you know what happened? They are collecting retirement as an ex-governor. Yet, they are collecting another one as a senator. Does that even make sense to you? That someone that just served for 8 years is due for retirement. And we have teachers that have served for 30 years. We have policemen that have served for 30 years. We have our soldiers that have served for 30 years. They are not collecting a retirement compared to a man that just served 8 years. So do you see why they keep saying Nigerians don't have money? Tell me that someone work in your company for 8 years and you have to pay that person for the rest of his or her life. Why will someone that just served for 8 years deserve huge, humongous retirement? Yet, Nigeria is at the verge of collapsing. Do you see where Nigerian money is going to? It's like we are working tirelessly to serve our politicians. For me personally, that's how I feel. And with all this, we still have some Nigerians, some thugs who will go and stop VDM. We have some thugs who will still go to polling unit to go and disrupt election. They keep saying Tinubu is fixing Nigeria. Relax. Okay. If you have any Batifier or APCR or whoever is supporting this administration, the first thing they will tell you is that, oh, this administration is doing coastal road. Don't you see? If you can't see, it means you are blind. Don't you see this administration is doing Night Fund? Ask them to name another thing. Now, this is my opinion. Why I believe Tinubu should not be doing coastal road. Is coastal road important? Maybe yes. But do we need it right now? Absolutely not. You see, if you're going to take out, or if you come in as the president, you are taking out the one thing that Nigerian benefit from, fuel subsidy. You will have some mind rubbing, some analysis. Who are these going to affect the most? Nigeria depends on power. We need electricity to run our business, but we don't have that electricity. So what do? We resort to buy generator, power it with petrol or diesel. That is how majority of businesses in Nigeria are able to run their business. If you are going to take that subsidy out, if that is the route you want to go, if I happen to be the president, I will make sure that I provide alternative. And that alternative will be a stable electricity. You see the trillions of dollars that they put on coastal road, they could have invested that money in making sure that Nigeria has stable electricity. So that if I remove that fuel subsidy, people don't need to buy fuel to power their business anymore. You will have stable electricity. And it's not just going to be estimated bill. You pay for what you use. That's the route I believe they should have go. Provide stable electricity. Then remove fuel subsidy. People don't have to be fighting to buy high cost of fuel to power their business because some may not be able to. They will close down. Why those who can will pass the cost down to their customer. And if customer can't afford their services anymore, they will stop coming. And the effect will be chain effect because it's going to affect everybody. But do you know those people who it will not affect? The politicians. Why? Because we fund their life. The life they are living all the way to their dog if they have dogs. Nigerian fund all their expenses. Have you ever heard in the history of Nigeria that a politician, their salary gets delayed? Growing up, teacher salary are always delayed. Some don't even get paid for 9 months. Tell me one day that you remember that senators didn't get their salary. Or maybe governor didn't get their salary. Tell me one day that you remember that. And that's why you see someone that we want to kill in order to attain that position. Because we have made it so much attractive. Because there's so much money in politics. And that is why we only end up with mediocrity. We have mediocre people in office. They can deliver intelligent speech, but they will never deliver a mandate that benefit the people. Do you know how much your governors are collecting every month as allocation? Yet, some states, they have nothing to show for the money they are getting. If we want a Nigeria that works, INEC need to be looked into critically, because that channel, it is well with Nigeria. And I'm going to say this. If this really hurts your feelings, I really don't care. Either you like it or not. You see, the issue of insecurity in Nigeria, the reason why it's so hard to tackle insecurity in Nigeria is as a result of what Buhari did. What he did about Operation Safe Corridor really hurt Nigeria a whole lot. That really hurt Nigeria a whole lot. I have never heard that in the history of the world, that people who are committing crime, not because government offend them, not because the country did something bad to them, they just choose the fact that they want to be killing people in the name of their religion. And those are the people our government decided to rehabilitate. That Operation Safe Corridor, to me, is a weakness. And one thing also that I want to say is that if local vigilante can defeat bandits, people without sophisticated weapon, if they can defeat and chase away bandits, how much more a trained military soldier? It means something is fishy. Some people are giving out information about their operation. That is why they cannot record much victory. They are being infiltrated by moles who is giving away information about their operation. You see that military officer that the bandit brought his body back to his community. Trust me, if that happened, maybe in Yoruba land or in Igbo land, the next thing you're going to hear is Operation Crocodile Dance. They will wipe out that community. But they couldn't do it because the Fulanis happened to be the perpetrator this time. That's why they couldn't do it. They wanted to go after them, but they will never be allowed to go after the bandit. They will never allow them. I can guarantee you, Nigerian police, they are capable. In fact, Nigerian police are more than capable to deal with this bandit. If you really want to know that this insurgency has something to do with some northern leaders, let Nigeria go back to regional government. In a period of 2 months, I guarantee you, it's going to look like a black cloud that just turned to white when it comes to insecurity. And that being said, Nigeria also need to know that the backward movement of Nigeria has more to do with the northern Nigerian than the rest of the Nigeria. It's a fact. You may not like it. I don't care. They are the most backward in everything. If you are angry with me right now because of that statement, I will ask you to go back to history when we were practicing regional government, where everybody is developing at their own pace. Yoruba is developing like never before. We are growing really fast until everything is modeled up that we have to come together as one again. There's something I need to say before I go, and this is going to be coming as an advice. And this is my opinion. This is what I observe. And my observation is that the reason why it looks like the federal is not doing anything, 90% of people focus more on federal. They quickly forget that they have state governor. And when you go back to state, when people focus more on governor, you will realize majority of them forget that they have local government chairman. And this made me conclude that there's some burden that the federal government is putting on that shouldn't be so. And this is going to be my advice. This is what I thought that Nigeria should resort to. The reason why we keep electing some mediocre governor is because they don't have to do anything. They just have to wait for their money to come every month. But we can stop that. And what do they need to do? All the federal government need to do is to see how they can decentralize everything. Let each state develop at their own pace. Federal should focus more on something that pertains to federal level and let state and local government deal with their people. Not that state can generate their own electricity. That's a very good thing to do. Federal need to come out more and talk to their people. Let people know that if you do not have electricity, don't look into federal face. Look into governor face. Let them go out and look for investors. federal government should not be in charge of giving driver's license. The only thing federal should concern about is issuing passport, the NIN and whatever, anything that have to do with Nigerian nationally. So states should be able to issue their ID and their driver's license, processing their vehicle registration. You should be registering your car every 2 years. So what am I saying is that the federal government need to put down some burdens, release all those power, let each state have full autonomy. That will make things easy. Because of greed, the federal want to be in charge of everything, and that's why everything is failing and collapsing. Let go. Let each state have full autonomy. Let each state compete in development. You can't do everything as the president. You can't. That's why you have all those governors. Most of the governors are just dormant. They don't do anything. They don't do jack. They just collect money and they enjoy. And after spending 8 years, they want to retire and be collecting retirement. And after that, they go and win senatorial seat and be collecting double money again. In conclusion, I want to tell you that if you're in Nigeria right now and you can vote, I want you to know that it is a sin and it's also a crime for you to sell your vote. And it's a sin and crime for anybody to want to buy vote. To top it all, it should be a red flag if anyone approach you to buy your vote. May God bless you. May God bless Nigeria. Until next time, stay blessed. Bye-bye.
And that is a wrap on another episode of Unfiltered Society. Rooted in reason. If this hit different, share it, subscribe, follow. Tell somebody who needs to hear this. I'm your host, Caleb Adediji. And remember, truth over comfort.
Every single